Hello, my beautiful soul. Welcome to another episode of the Sacred Roots podcast. If you've been tuning into the past episode, and you're familiar with my work, you know I am deeply, deeply passionate in helping you step into your purpose. Because when you do, so many things start to fall into places. And because truly, as a spiritual being who came down to have this human experience, that's all you deeply desire. You have a plan. There's a plan for you. There's something that you came here to accomplish, something that you came here to create. And that will only happen when you step into your purpose. And so I see so many people get stuck on that path, which is why I created a brand new masterclass, Step Into Your Purpose, where I share the 4 steps journey to do so and the 4 biggest mistake that most women and men in general do, but I usually work with women. And I'm sharing those mistakes and what to do instead. But today I want to tell you about one of those mistakes more in depth. If you're called to watch this masterclass, you can find a link in the show notes of this episode. It's going to be available for a few more days. After that, I will be taking it down. So I highly, highly recommend that you watch it. Truly has the potential to change your life, but you do whatever you want with your time. Of course, it's always your choice. But so one of the biggest mistake that I see people make when they want to step into their purpose is that they are trying to figure it out with their mind. And my love, I get it. We live in a mind-based society, masculine society, that praises the rationality, the mind, the thinking, the figuring it out. But we've lost touch with the soul, the intuition, the emotion. And your purpose is actually going to come from that reconnection with your soul, with your essence. It is not going to come from trying to figure it out and asking yourself, what are my gifts? What are my talents? How can I serve with them? So it's a both and story, but it has to be led by the soul. And so I'm going to explain to you why, and this mistake that I see most people make, why it doesn't work. So the mistake, let's be clear here, trying to figure out your purpose with your mind is a mistake. It's a misconception. It is not going to work for 2 reasons. Number one, your purpose is who you came here to be, not what you came here to do. This is already another misconception. But your doing is going to flow naturally from your being. So who you came here to be is maybe a teacher or a healer. The way that you're going to do that can be expressed differently. And because your purpose is who you came here to be, it entices, it suggests the idea that there's a beingness, there's stepping into a next level. And astrology explains that really well with the south node and the north node. And the south node is usually who we are when we're born, and the north node is what we evolve into. And your soul came here to evolve. You know that here, of course, if you're listening to this podcast. You came here to evolve. And I'm sure that if you look at who you were a month ago, 6 months ago, or 5 years ago, you're a different person. You're the same, but you've evolved, right? And so your purpose is who you came here to be. There's a becoming there. There's an evolution there. And while there's an evolution, there's also all the gifts and all the talents and all the wisdom that you need to step into that version of you is already there. It's seeded as potential. It needs to just be watered, taken care of so that it can be fully expressed and fully bloom, truly. It's like a seed, you put it in the ground and you know it's meant to be a rose. But it's going to take time before it becomes a rose. It's going to have to become a plant and then a leaf. And then eventually the roses are going to come out. And that seed was always meant to be a rose, but it had to walk a journey, it had to walk the path. It's exactly the same for your soul. And so you came here to be a certain way. And that being is then going to bring gifts into the world. And you're naturally going to, when you are in that beingness, you're naturally going to want to do certain things. For example, I've always been passionate about writing. Writing is one of the ways that I love speaking as well, which is why I'm doing these podcasts. But writing is one of the ways that I just connect with my soul the most, that I have the most downloads, and I have wisdom that comes through me, ancient wisdom, ancient teachings that come through me, because I've been doing this for many lifetimes. And they just come in a really beautiful way when I write. And I've always loved writing. Even when I was a child, I think I wrote my first story when I was 12. No, not I think, I know. I did write my first story when I was 12. And then I wrote more stories, etc. But in order to become a published writer, I needed to improve that skill. I first self-published, and then I found a publisher. And then for this next book, I'm hoping to work with a bigger publisher. And then eventually I'll be a New York Times bestseller. And I was always meant to be that version. But I could also use my writing skills in a blog, as a journalist, as a poet. There are many different ways that I could share my teachings as an author, a writer. It's not strict to one way of doing. And so, because your purpose is who you came here to be, it really has to do with the realm of the soul and not with the realm of the mind. Because your mind is always going to focus on the future or to imagine the future based on either the past or what you've already seen. And so that limits you. Your mind can actually not conceive who you came here to be, who you came here to evolve into, because it is based on the past and what you've already seen. And because you're meant to evolve, and your mind doesn't know. And that leads us to the second reason why you cannot know your purpose, why you cannot figure out your purpose with your mind, is that who you came here to be, your purpose, has never been before. Let that sink in. Who you came here to be has never been before. Your soul wants, and spirit wants you to express something that is unique, that nobody else can express. Because your frequency is unique, your vibration is unique. And your mind cannot conceive what it could be. So trying to figure out your purpose, how you can serve with your mind, is always going to limit you. It can be helpful because at the beginning, it can help to gather a few pieces and be like, well, I know I love to do this. I know I have these gifts. I know I'm really gifted at that. I know my genius is that. People often come to me for this and this and this. This is going to give you cues. But once you have all these cues, you need to start a conversation with your soul, with your intuition, with spirit, so that you can be led towards who you came here to be, so that you can embrace the opportunities, the challenges, the obstacles that are going to shape you into who you came here to be, that are going to teach you the wisdom to step into who you came here to be, the experiences, the skills. And it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. It's an unfolding. And on that path of unfolding, you gather one piece, you gather another. You ask, before going to bed, you ask your dreams for guidance. You pull oracle cards. You observe the synchronicities in your life. And so it's key, super important the only way that it can actually happen is to surrender and to honor the co-creative relationship that you're in with spirit. Because spirit is everywhere. It's within you, it's around you, it's in your house, it's in the people that you're meeting, it's in the obstacles. This world was created by Father, Mother, God, call it the way you want, so that you could explore, so that you could evolve. There's no coincidence, nowhere. There's none. And it's all happening for you. Doesn't always feel like that. Give you that one for free, but it is in the end. And eventually you'll see it. You'll see the gifts in the challenges, in the obstacles, in the discomfort. And so gathering the pieces of, okay, I know these are my gifts. I figured these things out with my mind. Now I'm going to deeply surrender to the spiritual part of me, to my intuition, to my soul. I'm going to honor the co-creative relationship that I'm in. I'm going to observe the synchronicities, the signs. I'm going to ask more guidance to my dreams, my oracle cards, my meditations. Suddenly you're going to be shown a few things, but you have to understand the language of your soul to be able to do that, because your soul speaks to you in the present moment, in the now. It's going to tell you, sign up to Kajabi now. You're going to be like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, yeah, your soul doesn't make sense to your mind because your soul knows the greater timeline and your mind doesn't. Remember, we just said you cannot figure these things out with the mind. And so you surrender. You say, okay, doesn't make any sense. It feels scary, but I'll do it anyway. I'll sign up to Kajabi. And then it's saying, watch this masterclass, listen to this podcast episode, go to work with this person. And it most of the time feels scary. Re-listen to my podcast episode 108, alignment should not feel good, because it's gonna reiterate that teaching that when you actually start to follow your soul, follow your intuition, follow what spirit is guiding you towards, it's going to stretch you. That's because you are meant to be stretched in order to step into who you came here to be. It's a becoming, it's an unfolding. Think about the seed in the sand, in the earth. She's going to be stretched quite a lot to be able to become a rose. She's going to change shape totally. Well, that's what you're meant to experience too. You're meant to change. And nature teaches us that constantly. Think about the caterpillar that becomes a butterfly. What a transformation the caterpillar has to go through. Think about the baby who was just an egg and a sperm and then becomes this absolutely perfect human body. Think about recipes also, when you're bringing all the ingredients together and then it makes you this wonderful, delicious chocolate cake. You're meant to transform in that same way. And that is going to stretch you. That is going to be uncomfortable. That is not always going to make sense. But it is going to lead you to live your purpose. And when you live your purpose, you find yourself in a place of deep alignment with who you came here to be. You make the impact that you came here to make. Suddenly, doors start to open. Fulfillment fills your everyday. You have access to unlimited amounts of energy, creativity, opportunities, because you are in that alignment. And then your soul finds other ways to make you expand more and express more, because you're an infinite being and it never stops. And that journey actually of like constantly evolving and stepping into your next level of purpose, that journey is really made of 4 steps. And so I explained those 4 steps in the masterclass, Step into Your Purpose. But I really wanted for you to understand right now how, if you're looking for your purpose, if you know there's a next level of purpose for you to express into the world, you are not going to be able to figure that out with your mind. It's a journey that has to be spirit-led, that has to be soul-led. So are you able to listen to your intuition? Are you able to listen to the guidance of your soul, to the guidance of spirit, to the synchronicities? Are you able to see the obstacles as opportunities? Are you able to see the lessons in everything that you're experiencing right now? We're not always able to understand lessons in the moment. We often see them in hindsight, and that's totally fine. But can you please surrender to that? Can you accept that you're going to have to sit into the unknown? And that this unknown is going to feel uncomfortable to your ego, to your mind. But it's in that unknown that the magic happens, that you can see the signs. I love this teaching of like, what is the unknown actually? Let's have a look at the etymological root of the word unknown. It's about knowing the un. Un, it's the same root as like in French we say un, the number one, uno, in Spanish, Italian. And so it's knowing the one, the un, the unified field. What is the unified field? It's spirit. It's the quantum field, they call it in science, but it's spirit. It's the field of infinite possibilities. It's allowing the divine to reorganize your life for you and to show you the way. When you sit into the unknown, well, you don't have control anymore because you don't know. Good. You're letting go of your mind and you're allowing spirit to guide you. And that's exactly what we want when we want to step into our purpose, because that will only happen when it is soul-led, spirit-led, when we allow ourselves to sit long enough into the unknown and follow the breadcrumbs, follow the signs. If you want more guidance for that, highly, highly, highly recommend once more that you watch this free masterclass. It's free. It's just going to take 1 hour of your time, but it has the potential to deeply change your life, the trajectory of your life, the timeline that you're going to step in this year, 2024. So if you feel that you're meant for more and there's this next level, there's this transformation that you're going through, this next level calling you, take this 1 hour for yourself. Prioritize yourself and do it, because I am deeply passionate about this work because it changed my life and the life of my clients. So just, I cannot recommend it enough. And then if it doesn't resonate with you, good, just throw it away. You can stop in the middle. You don't have to watch the whole hour. That's totally fine. So you will find the links of that masterclass in the show notes of this episode. I will see you there. I am looking forward to support you. And if not, I'll see you another time. And may you follow the guidance of your soul. May you follow your intuition. May you do what feels scary, because that's where everything that you desire resides. I'll see you in the next episode.